Okay, I'm going to take a quick look at the Sama V Mesh. This is a case that was released fairly recently in November 2024, and I can't find anything online about it. There's no reviews. Sama has a decent reputation for making budget cases, and this one looked interesting, so I picked it up. Okay, here's the case unboxed. I poked around a little bit. I'm pretty impressed. It looks okay. Um, the tolerances here are pretty impressive. So this is actually a magnetic mesh, and you can see that it goes right to the edges. No gaps. It's perfectly cut, and it's very nicely made. The whole case is very light, not using a lot of material. Once you get the side panels off, it has a little bit of flex. I'll try and show that. But once it's all buttoned up, it's pretty solid. Okay, coming around to the back, you'll notice there's no screws to attach these panels to the sides. If you're moving your computer around a lot, that's one thing to be aware of. You could potentially pop out this tempered glass panel. There's a little thumb screw here that opens up to get to your PCI slot covers. There's no screw holding them in. They're kind of, I think, the bend and breakaway style. We'll see when I actually go to build it. And yeah, not much else to talk about here on the back. But here's the inside of the case. I popped off the panels. The clips, very strong. Takes a little bit of pressure to pull them off, but I think they'll loosen up as they get worn in. The front cover in particular is really tight and takes a lot of force. You just pull it straight out. There's a mesh on the front, which is kind of the same material as on the top and bottom. But then on the inside, there's actually like a very fine mosquito netting. So there's almost a double layer of mesh. It looks pretty good. You know, this will be pretty easy to vacuum with a brush, or you could even run underwater probably. And then the bottom has a removable magnetic thing. This one clips in. There's no magnets. There's little tabs here that are bent, and you have to slide it in. But nice that it's removable. There's three fan mounts on the bottom here, so you could have use this as intake, and then you have some protection from dust. On the back side, I undid some of these because I was looking at the connector, so it's a little bit messier than how it came, but it wasn't particularly tidy anyway. The documentation that came with the case is really lacking. This is one of the worst manuals I've ever seen for a case, but it's not too bad. One of the interesting things I noticed is, you know, it has this explanation of your front panel connectors, but when you actually look at the front panel connector, it's a solid block. It's not the same as what's in the documentation. Also came with a bag of stuff. Okay, I'm started the build. Got the motherboard in. This has a 280 millimeter all-in-one cooler, and this case is supposed to support that, but there's really no way you can. I didn't think it would work, and it doesn't work with the radiator on the top. This is a pretty tall RAM, but even with that, there's no hope. So you can see here, it's not getting out of there. So that means I'll have to put it on the front. I prefer to have it on the top, but it's going to go on the front as the intake through the radiator. Okay, getting towards the end of the build here. It wasn't too bad. I moved the front fans to the top. And then I put the radiator and intake here. Because I'm pushing air through the rad now, I also decided to use, I had these old Arctic P12 fans, so I put them all on the bottom. This fan's probably not doing anything. Directly beneath it is the solid back of the power supply, so it's probably not really pulling a whole lot. This one will actually pull some stuff through. It's pretty clear, just some cables under here. And this one will work as well. I don't really think it's necessary. It's probably a waste of time, even for me, but if you don't have a radiator, certainly probably not worthwhile. So I'm gonna tidy up the back and close it up, and we'll see how it goes. Oh, in terms of cutouts and stuff, this actually has really wide open back for the new motherboards that have the connectors on the back side. Part of the reason the case might feel a little flimsy is because all that missing material for that. But in terms of pass-throughs for all the cables, it's okay. You know, obviously without a lot of room at the top, once you mount fans up here, there's really not a lot of space. And even without fans, there's only about a centimeter. So a little tricky at the top, and again at the bottom here, if you actually put fans here, I lost access to my bottom PCI slot. So, you know, keep that in mind. This is a full ATX motherboard. Yeah, it was really tough to get the front panel connectors and everything through. In terms of lengths on all those front panel connectors, it was okay. I didn't have any problems. But yeah, I'm excited to get it all put together and finish. All right, here's the back side. Not a lot in terms of, you know, cable management. There's a fair amount of, you know, tie-offs here. Comes with a few Velcro straps that work pretty good. Here you can see this is for the RGB and fan controller built in. So it has 4 fans with 4 attached RGB things and some other LED things. I don't use a lot of RGB, so I don't really know what this stuff does. But I have the 3 fans that came included all plugged in, hopefully correctly. Here's where I hide my rat's nest of extra wires, and but overall, I don't know, it's okay. Here you can see all these big cutouts. This part comes off, I can't do because I have this wire here. This lifts out with a thumb screw, and you can mount either one 3.5-inch hard drive or two 2.5 SSDs or whatever on here. And so the reason that it comes off is that you can get the screws into the, you know, through this plate into the bottom of the hard drive coming up out of here. So that's a pretty nice feature. I guess there's enough clearance for a 3.5-inch drive, but it looks pretty tight. And it'd probably get pretty hot back there, I'd imagine. Okay, we're booted up here. It worked first try. Don't mind the old monitor. I have the fan profile here on standard, and it's quite quiet. It's hard to tell because I have these EVGA high static pressure fans on the front. They're actually pretty loud, and they have like 3 other RC fans, but the fans that come with it are kind of in the same audible range as the others. They're not incredibly loud or anything. One thing I noticed with them is that whoever did the stickers is a little bit wobbly, and they're all kind of like that. They're all kind of, you know, look like they're wobbling. You know, small attention to detail thing. On the case, there's an LED button, and I can press it and cycle through some different colors. I don't know how this will work with control through the motherboard. I don't really mess around with this stuff. I might play with it. But yeah, it all seems to be working well. Looks pretty nice. My can talk about front connectors at all. It comes with 2 USB 3, a Type C. Here's your LED button. You got headphone and microphone separate. They're not combined, and your power. I think it's weird when they put them off to the side like this because it's like the opposite side of, you know, how you're usually going to put it on your desk, but it doesn't really matter for me because I'm going to put this in my utility room on the other side of my office, and so all the lights and all that stuff don't really matter to me. All right, here I am in Windows. I'm running an OCCT video card benchmark stability test. I have Cinebench going, and the processor, which is a i7-12700K. It's running at about 56 degrees, and the RTX 3080 is going to a 75, which is a little toasty. But I do have a different BIOS installed on this card for, I think it goes up to 400 watts, so it's pretty hot. So yeah, I don't know, that's fine. About what I would expect in this system. All right, here we are in my utility room. I put the computer up on the shelf. I took the panel off so you're not seeing my reflection. So I played around with the RGB a little bit. Not really my thing. I'll probably shut it all off after I'm done the video, but I want to show how it looks in case that's something people are really interested in. Overall, I mean, the case is pretty good. I got it for $70 Canadian on discount. One thing I like about the case I didn't mention was there's pretty good clearance underneath the fans here, or the bottom of the case. So if you put bottom intakes, at least, you know, it's going to get some air. Even, you know, if it was a softer material like carpet or something, I think it would get some. It wouldn't be totally choked. Yeah, it looks okay. These parts that are in here actually came out of this computer, which is this is a Fractal Design Meshify 2 XL, which is kind of my server computer. I had all these parts in the video card and this i7, and I was running it as a virtual machine. So I had like a Windows virtual machine, and then I had, you know, my server and everything else running on it under Proxmox. But the problem was there were so many games now that don't allow running in VMs, I decided to split them back out. So I bought a new CPU and motherboard and put it in there, and then moved all kind of the gaming hardware into this one. The nice thing is I'm saving a little bit of electricity when this computer is turned off. But it's unfortunate that I'm not able to keep using the one machine to do anything anymore. That was really nice while it worked. But yeah, overall, it's a case fine. Not incredible quality. I mean, compared to the Fractal Design, that's like triple the price. It's you know, there's a lot of cost-cutting measures, but I think it gets the job done. It's a budget case. It's reasonably good quality. The only thing I'm still kind of not thrilled about is the tightness of the side panels. I find it really hard to get them to release. It takes a lot of force, and I'm always worried about breaking something. But yeah, that's it for the review. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks.